Flosstube friends. Welcome to my channel. My name's Lorraine and my channel is called Shanebrookcottage. Cottage. And I'm going to share with you today my cross stitch and my quilting progress since we last met a couple weeks ago. So welcome. So it's been just a little while, and I've kind of lost a little bit of my stitching mojo over the last couple weeks. We've been busy like everyone else, but we've kind of been doing some purging of items, cleaning, I don't know what you want to call it. It's a little of everything. And so since we last met, we finished building a farmhouse cabinet, pantry, I don't know what you would call it. We got it from Wayfair. It's really pretty. We built it and put it in our master bathroom to hold like all the stuff. And so it's really nice. It's really big. And then we cleaned out one of the spare bedrooms that we used before as like our pantry and our overflow like toiletries, like, you know, your toothpaste, your hair shampoos, stuff like that. So we cleaned that room out, and I have some paint. I haven't started yet. I'm going to just paint it a nice clean crisp white, and then I got some like, I don't know what you call it, like it's like wallpaper, but it's not. It's like that new type of wallpaper that you can put on and take off super easy. That looks like I chose like a white and beigey pine board look. So we're going to make that room my office. My sewing room used to do double duty as sewing on this side that I'm sitting on, and then behind the camera on the other side of the room was like a little work area for work. And it's kind of nice. I tested it on Friday with a folding table in that room, and then also today I worked from home. I work at home Mondays and Fridays, and I really like how it feels to be in there. I do love my sewing room so much, but my little desk area was kind of like in a corner, and I felt like I was like closed in by all of my sewing goodness. So this room is more, it's a small room, but the desk is going to face a window so I can look at the backyard, which is really going to be nice. And then it's going to do, that room also is going to do double duty. So I have a Pioneer Woman writing desk coming for my office desk. And then on the other side of the room, we decided that I'm going to put in a Pioneer Woman vanity. Not that I do my hair and makeup, as you can tell most of the time. But I think some of that is, one, my personality. Two, the setup in the master bathroom was just like, there wasn't any room for anything in it. So it was always a hassle to, you know, pull everything out, you know, spruce up and look nice, and then put everything back away. And so why not? We're going to give it a try and see if that, I think I'm going to enjoy that. I have like a little room. Listen, I have 2 rooms in the house that are all mine. But anyway, so as you may or may not know, I have a very sweet husband who is extremely accommodating to all my my ideas and all the things I want to just try. And I wanted to redo that room, and he said, sure, why not? So that has kind of like taken up a lot of my time in the evenings. I've been, you know, we purged so much stuff, you know, just clothes that didn't fit, or, you know, stuff I was hanging on to, because why? I don't know, because like you think you might need it someday, but we got rid of it. And then, so that's a really good feeling. So the stitching has not been a lot, but what I have done, I've really enjoyed. And when I'm done with this video tonight, instead of going in there and working, like starting painting or something. I think I'm just going to take a night and just sit and stitch, kind of get back in that routine of sitting down, enjoying it. Might also do a little quilting tonight. I have a lot of quilting I want to share with you. I did do some of that. So let's just jump in. Let's just jump in. So I do have one finished item. Yay, me. It's not fully finished, but it'll just take a second to do. So I finished this little guy that I started last year. Isn't he dear? And here's a little pattern. So very sweet. I stitched it on 14 count Aida, like the fiddler's cloth, and I think, let's see, and I did the DMC and the Classic Color Works. It also gives anchor, but I kind of mixed and matched Classic Color Works and DMC. A cute little pattern. So I'm gonna just finish that in a little pillow. So that was my only finish for the week, and I only stitched on 2 other things since I last saw you. I worked on this freebie from Antique Needleworkers, Stop Stitch. That kind of sums up my my last week and a half since I last saw you guys. I guess it'll be like 2 weeks when this goes up. So it just needs to have drop added, stop, drop, and stitch, and then finish out the border and put in a couple little buttons. And I'm stitching this on some 14 count, like glittery fabric from Hobby Lobby, which doesn't really show up in the camera, maybe like that. Anyway, that was a freebie. So that really shows you that's all the further I got, and so I didn't stitch a whole bunch. There was one more thing I stitched on this week for cross stitch. And I think this is the one I'm going to work on again tonight. I worked on this a little bit yesterday. And it's this one, Silver Creek Samplers. And I think this is going to be one that I enter next year in the local county fair. I think this is going to turn out and be super cute. I love the fabric. I'm sorry, I've got loose threads because I kind of park. So I started on this yesterday or last night. I started on the lettering here. I'm going to bring it over and then I'll start working down. This fabric is my Fabric Flare. It's a 14 count and you can kind of see it right there. There's some light gray webbing and then my white web shows. So not a whole lot of progress, but definitely a lot of fun. Now for quilting, I did do a little bit more than cross stitching. I got a chance to work on, let me move my needle and my magnet. On another, this is my second flower for the Grumpy Susan Quilt Along, the EPP hosted by Shelly at Antique Needleworkers and Carrie at Tiger Lily Designs. So if you want more information, those are the floss tubes to check out. But yep, so I'm going to finish with the red going around, and then I don't know what color I'll use next for my next row going around. This is To Grandmother's House by Riley Blake. I love this fabric so much, so pretty, and I am like enjoying this very, very much. I'm so happy I gave it a try. Last time I showed you that I did finish the Smokey the Bear quilt top, so I won't show you that again. My husband helped me pick out, we just picked out some, a basic from, I think this is Riley Blake's Confetti Cotton Cinnamon color. It's one of the colors that's in the quilt itself, so it matches really well. And then this is going to be the binding. So I need to make my quilt sandwich and start quilting that, because I hope to gift that on the weekend of the 4th, October 4th. That's when I want to gift it. And tomorrow night I'm gifting one of my other quilts, one of the quilts that won first place, my Jelly Roll quilt from last year. I'm gifting that to some of our friends tomorrow night when we go over to their house. We're going over for supper, so I'm going to surprise them and gift them that quilt. Because those are the same friends that asked us if we would like to park our camper on their property, which was super kind. And then also they invited us to go to their house in Florida, which was also super kind. So I thought I'd give them something that that means a lot to me, because it was a lot of time I spent on it. So I look forward to doing that. Then my other quilt that I worked on was this one by Layla Boutique, The Web, using her fabric line called Hey Boo. And I had a really nice friend slash viewer. Actually, I've had 2 people now blame me for enabling them to go buy some Hey Boo fabric. But it's awesome. It's beautiful. So let me show you what I have cut out so far. And I'm not using the exact same fabric. I chose some different fabrics, as you'll see. So it called for a panel, which I purchased. And you were supposed to cut out 15 squares from the panel. And there wasn't, I think this is part of the, no, that's not. I don't think there was like 15 of the panel that I really like was in love with. Let's see, I got some of them mixed in here. So I picked my favorite. And then what it said is if you didn't buy the panel, and or you could substitute some of the layer cake pieces. So you need like 35 pieces in all. And so these are the ones I chose from the panel to incorporate. That one I like. And they all are good. I was just, you know how it is. You just have some that you like more than others. And oh, this one's pretty too. And here's the, whoops, here's the last one. So I have those panel pieces cut to size that the pattern asked for. And then I chose some of my favorite pieces from the layer cake and cut, you know, them down to size. So I have a lot of layer cake fabric left over that are not even cut into. Plus I have like all of these offcuts from the layer cakes I cut down. So I will, when I'm all done with the quilt, I'll cut these down to whatever size. I'm guessing probably, let's see, I can trim them down to like a 2.5 inch charm size. And then the layer cakes, I'll leave those pieces at 10. Then I started cutting, so this is gonna be for the webbing. So there's a lot of different links to the webbing. And I used my alphabetties that I got from Fat Quarter Shop to label all of those. So that's going to be different because on theirs, which looks really cool, she was a little scrappy. So these are all different in hers, and mine are going to be all the same. I definitely like scrappy, but I almost like a more controlled scrappy. So I hope it turns out really well. I think it will. And then I don't know what I did. I knew I over-purchased, but I think I really over-purchased. So I have all of that black cut, and I have like so much left. So I don't know if I intended to do the border. I might have intended to do the border. And then I have this I love, and I know I bought hard on this because I want to have this for a long time. I love this color for Halloween now, this pinky purple color. So that'll be my backing. And so my next step, if I work on it tonight, is just cutting out the white. So it alternates here, you know, the dark and the white. So I'll have a lot of white strips, I'm guessing, you know, that I'll have to label. And then this white square here, and then I'll have to pick a layer cake piece to cut the pieces for the accent stars. So I still have a lot of cutting left to do, but I don't mind. I enjoy it. The one part I don't like cutting, I love cutting up the pre-cuts because it's so easy. I love buying pre-cuts. But the yardage sometimes can be a little overwhelming and also scary because I don't want to like make a mistake and mess it up and cut, you know, wrong, but that's why I bought extra. So that's been taking up a little bit of time. And then I think that's it for the project. So really I didn't work on a whole lot. I do have my pasta stash from last time I'll share with you guys. And then I have some haul. So let's do the pasta stash now from last video. So I'll insert it here, the person who won, or here, wherever it shows up at when I put it in. I did draw it tonight. So it was for the Stitching with the Housewife Black Cat Bakery, and then a little seam gauge from Antique Needleworkers. The pattern is used. I'm passing my stash, but it's not written on, so you're certainly welcome. You know, it's going to be perfect to use. And the ruler's new. I didn't use that. I bought that just for this. In this, the keyword was Black Cat. And so if you are the person here in the screen, just please contact me by email, shanebrookcottage@gmail.com. I'll put it across the bottom of the screen here. Let me know your name and your, you know, your mailing address, and I'll get this to you, you know, as soon as possible. So if you wanted to stitch it this year, you could, because it is super cute. And I think last time I showed you guys, I was like pretty much done. All I have to do is some French knots, but they weren't turning out well. And I told you that I was going to practice, and I haven't practiced. So it's unfinished. But anyway, so there's that one. If you get a hold of me. And I just want to also say, like, I don't know, like I, you know, I do pass the stash pretty regular. And if you don't want it, that's fine. But if you do and you put your name in, there's a lot of people who don't get back to me. Like, you've won, I've announced it, I put your name on the screen. So, you know, and I think I know, because I've talked to other people, they have the same challenge on their floss tubes. I just want to make sure that, you know, that if you wanted it and you were picked, that you got it. But I can't, you know, be going back, you know, 6 months looking for something. So how it works is, you know, after I draw it, I'll put it in a bag. If the person contacts me, you know, great, I mail it out. But if you don't contact me, you know, I just hold on to it for a while. Then if I don't hear from you in a reasonable amount of time, and to me, a reasonable amount of time is probably like a month, I guess. I don't know. Then in my mind, it's just going back into the giveaway, pass the stash bag. So, so if you are interested, please just check back. And I'm not gonna, like, you know, I'm not gonna stalk you or hunt you down. Just, if you want it, please get hold of me. So anyway, let's do haul. We'll do haul, and then I'll do a pass the stash for next time. So anyway, let me grab my basket here. So I have some really pretty things. So first of all, I want to say thank you. I received a birthday card with a lot of like personal care items, like soaps and hand sanitizers and body spray and all kinds of things that all like were the same like scent and everything. So thank you so very much for my birthday gift. You know who you are. You're very sweet. Not necessary, but thank you so very much. I like to start with my Floss Fix. These colors look really pretty. I like to wait and open it until I show you guys. So this month we have, I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see better. Oh, that's pretty. It's called House Wine. Get a little board. House Wine, a really pretty pink. Hydrangea, a bluish purple color. Shaky brown. Guess that would be like a mauve. Jelly Roll. Speaking of Jelly Roll, I love Jelly Roll. It's music. It's the best. So, like, who do you guys like? I like Jelly Roll. I like Lainey Wilson. I like Chris Stapleton. I like Post Malone's like country. So yeah, I'm like into country music, but I like all kinds of music really. I mean, I love, my husband likes classic rock. I like that. You know, my son likes, you know, rap type music. I like that. So I don't discriminate. I mean, and I like bluegrass. I like 1940s swing music. So I like a lot of music. But yes, Jelly Roll. I love Jelly Roll. Like love, love, love. This is Jolly Holly. Really pretty green. And let's see the last one. Joshua Tree. Not really loving that one too much. Kind of like E. Anyway, there's those. So Floss Fix is a club from the Fat Quarter Shop that I participate in, and I have no regrets. I enjoy very much getting a, they're going alphabetical. I like getting the floss. I have quite a lot of floss since I've been in it since the beginning of the year. And, you know, I don't know what next year brings, if I will continue with that or maybe put it on pause and do something else. I'm not sure, but I love it. And if you love working with the fancy floss, it's a great way to build your supplies up. So I also got this this month, or the last couple weeks, from Fat Quarter Shop, this little quilt pattern. I thought that this was super dear. It calls for 4 fat quarters, 1 10 by 10 square. You know, it uses very little fabric, and I thought this would make a super dear quilt to make, either, you know, for one of my own little grandchildren or as a gift. If somebody, you know, you needed a gift, or you wanted to make a gift, or you wanted to use up some of, you know, a fabric line that I would have. I just thought this was adorable, and so I grabbed that. This was on flash sale. Lori Holt needle minder. I don't really use my needle minders since I started stitching in hand, because it's like the needle minders, especially these Lori Holt ones, are like big and chunky, and so they're too heavy on the fabric. But I do love putting them on my little Lori Holt board, which is right in front of me. A little easel that holds my stuff. So I'll open that up and put it on the easel. Her needle minders are super nice. I ordered another one of these. I had one. There's the dogs. Anyway, I had one of these canvas bags, and 2 of the granddaughters were over. They were, you know, cross stitching, and they needed a project bag and blah blah blah. And needless to say, they got sent home with the Stitching with the Housewives bag. And I wasn't intending to replace it until I saw Barbara John's Stitching with Grammy. She did something really cute. She cut this canvas bag apart, and she used it to make a project bag with like quilting fabric. It looked really, really nice. I love the idea. So that's what I'm going to do. Because a needle minder couldn't travel alone, so I got the bag to go with it. You know, put it on the list of things to do. So where was I? I don't have a ton of Prairie Schoolers, but the ones I have I really like. I picked this because, of course, I have a September birthday, but I also picked it because of the little guy, the little sportsman with his little rifle or shotgun. So I was thinking somehow of stitching that. I'm not sure if I'll stitch the whole thing or just part of it. Very nice. Got this at the Fat Quarter Club. It is one of the nice cardstock ones, not those little paper things. No. I got 2 things at the thrift store, and then one like the Quilting Angels sang when it got delivered today. So these I got more for the collectability of them. It's like they're not worth anything per se, but so I got this. It's the original box with the tool in it, and then what is super cool about it is it also has the chalk refills, or 15 cents at one point. And so this is just a Tailor Tack tool. It was $1. What was the manufacturing date on this? Does it say? It was made in the US, 1948 copyright. And I'm not sure if it's broken or if it's quite right. It should, I would think. Well, no, it's right, because what you'll do is you'll put your fabric in there, and then you would put your paper pattern, and then you would mark both the front and the back. Your tailor tack marks your darts and whatnot. But anyway, I don't intend to use it. I don't do a whole lot of garment sewing right now. But I'm going to put it on my shelf in this room because I thought it was super adorable and I had to have it. And then this is super cool too. This marking set. So I love that it has its original price on it, was also $1. And then it's just basically a tracing wheel with a seam gauge on it, and then the tracing paper. It does not have the instructions, but this was really unique because I haven't seen too many tracing wheels with the seam gauge. And again, I don't use a tracing wheel to transfer markings when I do so, but I liked it a lot. And I think this also had a maybe a 1950s date on it. Let's see. Yeah, 1950s. Also made in America. So just a little something something. And then this was delivered today. Yay! I think it's my first Fat Quarter Shop boxed quilt kit. So if you've been with me a little while, there was a little sadness at Christmas time. Somebody had this fabric line on the Etsy store, Lighthearted by Camille Russ Kelly, at a good price. Like, not like crazy stupid low, but it was low enough like where you're like, okay, this is great. Maybe she's just clearing out, because it seemed low, but not like scammy low. And scam never even entered my mind. So I paid her, and then I waited. And I waited and I waited. Then I emailed. Then I emailed Etsy. And like, if I would have just taken the 2 seconds to read the feedback, I would have realized this was the person's MO. I eventually got my money back, which was great. But really, I wanted the fabric, and I wanted the fabric at that price. But anyway, so this came up on flash sale, and I just couldn't resist. It's so beautiful. I didn't even open it. It just came today. So let me show you. So beautiful. So here's the pattern. There's a little thank you card from Moda. And then it has all the fabric. All the beautiful fabric. Should I crack it open? Let's look at it. Now, you know I'm not going to get to this anytime this year. Not even next year. Let's just take all the plastic off. Let that fabric breathe, so I can show you the prints. Absolutely beautiful. So it'll be all the fabric I need to complete the quilt top, and probably the binding. So I will need fabric for the backing, and if I'm unable to find any more of this fabric when that time comes, I can also just use just a solid. That reads orange on the camera. That's really more of like a peachy color. But anyway. Steve's yelling at Molly because she barks all the time. Again, this is a little more peachy than what it's showing. It looks a little orange. That one I really like, the little tiny hearts on it. I think you can see the hearts. Very pretty. A nice pretty red. Again, more red than it's showing. It's showing a little orange. Another cut of that. Oh, this. I love it. I bet this is the binding. There's a lot of it. I love that pink and red together. And then here's the background, and I love nothing more than a white on white. So it doesn't show on the camera, but it's like really tiny little hearts with little like Swiss dots. Oh, love it. love it. It's going to finish at 84 by 84 as the pattern, the fabric for the quilt top, and the binding. So yep, I'll just need the backing. So you can imagine that made my day today when that came. So thank you, Fat Quarter Shop. I mean, I clearly bought it. They didn't give it to me. But thank you for doing those flash sales on those items that maybe, you know, have kind of passed their prime and you're just trying to move them out a little bit. I appreciate it because that's, you know, I get a lot of my things there to make my stitching and sewing dollars, my hobby money stretch further. And so I was able to, you know, get that. So anyway, I hope to see you guys again in a week or so. And I'm definitely gonna get my sewing mojo back, my stitching mojo, do some cross stitching. So thank you so much for being with me. Oh, I wanted to share a new Past the Stash. And actually, this isn't even a Past the Stash. It's a brand new quilt pattern I've never used. I purchased this a while back from Joann's with the intention of making it for my husband. But I never bought the fabric. And really, so this part here is a panel. So really though, you could use any panel you wanted and then adjust. And another reason is I have a pattern now that has the trees. So that was another reason why I wanted to learn how to make have a pattern for the trees. And then this is just like a partial log cabin going around. So, you know, you could make it as shown with a panel of your own in those woodland colors, or you could do something totally different. It's entirely up to you. So if you are interested in having this new pattern, the pattern is lap size, a large lap, 60 by 72, great cabin quilt using simple piece border blocks. And it is really cute. If I had some imagination and could recolor it in something else, that would be neat too. But anyway, if you just want to use the word log cabin in a comment, I would be happy to draw your name and send this to you. All I ask is that you are 18 or older with a US mailing address. And that's it. I mean, if you want to be a subscriber, like my video, share my video, all the things that, you know, make the YouTube algorithm happy, great. But, you know, we're just friends here. I'm not going to track you down and make sure you actually liked my video. I mean, I think if you're this far in, there's something here you liked. So whatever. Anyway, thank you so much for being with me, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Good night.